Hey everyone, let's go on a field trip. Today, we're going to visit a bee farm.
Hi, I'm Annie.
I'm Shaylin.
I'm Chris, and today we're visiting a bee farm.
Do you know what a bee is? A bee is an insect that has wings and a stinger. Here, I'll show you a picture of a bee. This bee is called a honeybee. Do you know what bees' homes are called? A bee lives in a beehive. Here's a picture. Let's think about this. Do you think bees get cold in the winter? They do. They need something to help warm them up, just like we do.
This for Keith. So we use this and we put it around the side of the boxes to make sure that the hives stay nice and warm in the winter. Okay, so today we're visiting a honeybee farm. Do you know what honeybees do? So what honeybees do is they come from their hive or their home and they come into areas like this and they get pollen or a yellow powder from flowers and plants and they bring it to other flowers and plants to help them grow. After the bees pollinate or take the yellow powder from flower to flower, they collect nectar, a sugary drink for the honeybees so they can take it back home to make honey.
There are 3 types of bees. There's a worker bee, a queen bee, and a drone bee, and we're going to tell you what they do. One bee in charge of the whole hive or home. This bee is called the queen bee. So the queen bee makes sure all the other bees are doing their job. Another job the queen bee has is helping to make other bees for the hive or home.
So remember when we talked about the bees carrying the pollen? Wait, what's the pollen again? Right, thanks for reminding me. That yellow powder that they take from the flowers. Those bees are called the worker bees, and they are the only ones that can go from flower to flower, taking the pollen and the nectar. Wait, what's the nectar again? Good job, that sugary drink. They're the only ones that can carry the pollen and the nectar around to make sure that the honey gets made in their hive or their home.
The only bee in the hive is called a drone. The drone's job is to help the queen bee make more bees. All drones are boys who don't leave the hive. Drones don't have stingers.
Have you ever had honey? Bees are in charge of making honey, especially honeybees. Here, our friend Chris is showing us a jar full of honey. This honey is freshly made by the honeybees at the bee farm.
So this is the honey that the honeybees make.
Here, our friend Chris is trying the honey that the honeybees made. Let's see if he likes it. Now Annie and Shaylin will try the honey. Now it's time to put away the honey and go check out the bees. Are you excited to go see the bees?
Before we go visit the honeybees, we have to put on a special suit to protect myself. So before we go visit the honeybees, we have to put on the bee suit because the honeybees don't really like strangers in their home. So talking about the bee suit, this up here protects your face and neck. These protect your hands so your hands don't get stung and we can touch the beehive. And all the rest is just connected. We just have to make sure to zipper it up.
So here's our friend Chris getting dressed in the bee suit. Like he said, this is to protect himself from the bees so the bees can't sting him or hurt him. Did you know that bees make wax?
This is a bee frame, and this is where the bees live. The frame is made of wood, and the bees can make their own wax on the frame. This is another example of the wax that the bees can make in their hives.
It's squishy.
This whole box is where a bee lives with their family. Do you remember what a bee home is called? Right, a hive. In the winter, this is where the beekeeper feeds them because the beekeeper takes their food, the honey, to eat.
So see this white stuff? That's capped honey. So what happens is the bees, they'll put honey in there and then they'll cap it to store it. It's almost like putting something in a refrigerator to store it and freeze it. That's what they do to last for the winter.
Look at how many bees there are. What's your best guess on how many bees you see? Now we're trying to look for the queen. How many queen bees are there to one hive? That's right, just one.
That's right there. You got it? You know right there? Yeah? That's a weird looking thing. I haven't seen one like that. So we're going to make sure that we actually see that bee. What are you trying to see?
Can you believe how many bees there are?
We finally found the queen.
Here's another video of the queen. Now he's putting the beehive back together so the bees can go back to normal.
We hope you had fun on our field trip.